Close of play of the third day of the third and final test between England and New Zealand sees New Zealand on 168 for 5, so they lead by 137 runs. They were going pretty well, actually, until they lost 3 for 9. Williamson was out for 48, Conway for 11 and Nicholls for 7, and a bad patch there after a break for rain, which rather derailed their innings, which was going nicely at 152 for 2. And thoughts maybe then of to build a substantial lead that would challenge England. The fact is, however, that Messrs Mitchell and Blundell are at the crease again, and who knows what they might put together this time, having been able to forge such amazing partnerships in this series so far. But they'll be back for the start of the fourth day, needing to do quite a lot. I mean, they need to double that score, I would have thought, to put pressure on England, who fancy chasing anything at the moment to win. Earlier, of course, England was still batting. Could Overton get his 100 and equal the record set by W.G. Grace, of the only person in the history of Test cricket to take a wicket and score 100 in their first Test? Well, he scored 3 runs short. He was caught by Mitchell at the slip-off bolt for 97 to bring an end to that partnership of 241 with Johnny Bairstow. Brilliant innings, of course, from him. He was finally out 4. I'm going to have to check that because my thing is a little bit... How did Johnny finish with in the end? 162 from 157 balls, hit 24 fours in the end. He was caught by Bolt off Bracewell out in the deep after Broad made a very good 42, played a few shots, a few swipes and a few rather cultured shots too. 6 fours and a couple of sixes in his 42 from 36 balls. Jack Leach off the mark first ball, having plodded around all that time here in 2019 for his 1 boundary first ball. Hit another one too. He hit one over mid-off, and he was the last man out, LBW to Southey for 8. So that was 360 all out, a lead of 31. Worth reminding again that England were 55 for 6 in their first innings. There's some rather expensive bowling figures around. Trent Boult, of course, bowled beautifully with the new ball, took 4 wickets for 104. Tim Southey 3 for 100. Neil Wagner, he went for more than 6 and over, 12 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 75, and the spinner Bracewell took 1 for 54. For England, in New Zealand's second innings, Matthew Potts again has been the pick, 2 for 20 from 10 overs. Jamie Overton bowled a lively spell, 1 for 34, and Jack Leach 1 for 26, having opened the bowling, in fact, and Joe Root took a wicket as well. So that's where we all stand. We're keeping an eye on the weather out there at the moment. It's just sliding down to the right, maybe, that storm to the right. It's going to be nip and tuck as to whether or not they resume. The floodlights are on. David Milnes, the 4th umpire, has got his umbrella up. It's raining, but raining only lightly, and the ground staff have all the sheets in place. The light might actually have a say, even if it does stop raining. The light is not good at all. Michael Vaughan's alongside me. And where do we start? I suppose the situation of the game, Michael. What do you reckon to how things are at the moment, assuming that they'll get back on again?
Well, this England side have clearly got this mechanism of attack with the bat, which we can clearly see, but I don't think we've probably talked about how much character they're showing with the ball. To get 20 wickets in Nottingham on that flat wicket was a great effort. And I thought this afternoon, the Kiwis and Kane Williamson, Tom Latham started to play brilliantly. I think those little breaks, that first rain break, did for Tom Latham, and then obviously the second one, you've got Devon Conway with that first ball from Joe Root. But I just like character. I like to see teams show a bit of character and difference. In Matthew Potts, they've got a bowler that throughout this whole game, I mean, he was brilliant at Lords when the ball was nipping. He had a more difficult week in Nottingham, but here at Henley, I just don't remember him bowling a bad ball. First innings he was exceptional, and again today he's been running up the hill and he's just been bowling that channel with just enough movement and probing in a way, questioning the forward defence of all the New Zealand batters, and he's got his rewards with a couple of really big wickets. So character is a big thing that you require. I loved Jack Leach opening the bowling.
Yes.
Again, I'm seeing things I'm just seeing things with Ben Stokes' captaincy that we haven't seen for a long while. He's just doing things just slightly out of the box, that you go, why is that happening? But it's working, and it's nice to see that it's not a it's not a kind of thought process of a captain that's, we always open the ball with our seamers, because that's what happens in Test match cricket. Today had a little bit of a gut feeling, whether it was his gut feeling or the coaches or one of the other players, we don't know. But to open with Jack Leach, he didn't get a wicket, but I just like seeing just little things that are slightly different in Test match cricket. So England once again have showed a huge amount of character.
David Milnes is walking off. He's got his umbrella rolled up. but I saw a little gesture there, a finger across the throat, which, as we all know, who those of us who've been in the game, I suspect means that that's it, and that they won't be able to get the ground fit for a restart in under 10 minutes now. So the covers are on. The ground staff aren't trying to take any of the sheets off or anything like that. So I think that's going to be officially confirmed soon enough that that's the end of play for the day. So yes, we can carry on. I made the point the other day, I think to you, I can't remember now, that when Potts was selected, I look back at his record, obviously, in the last couple of years of bowling for Durham. It'd been all right, sort of a record, but nothing really to make you go, whoa. He's had some injuries as well. And you think, oh, okay. Then he gets all those wickets for Durham. You think, okay, that's fine. Looking for context and so on. Okay, second division cricket. Can he step up? He's been bowling at that level of batsman. Can he step that up to Test cricket? Because that's a really big jump. I mean, he's answered himself, hasn't he? I think he's learning so quickly.
Yeah, I think this year has been a good indication of who can bowl in county cricket, because I think, whether you're in the first division, the second division, the balls haven't been doing as much as what we've previously seen in the last few seasons, where the ball's been doing far too much and the pitches haven't been quite up to scratch. And for him to have got all those wickets, for England to pick him, when you're in form, you want to be picked, and he would have arrived at Lords in his own mind, confident in his game, but then you've got to cope with the stage, the big arena, which is the home of cricket, all the media scrutiny. I think it's a huge thing that he's got Ben Stokes next to him as captain, someone that he's played for at Durham with. I think that's a big advantage for a bowler when the captain is someone that you play domestically with. And he just looks like he's a line bowler. Everything looks like it's in a straight line. He's a nice straight run up, nice straight release point. He changes his angle subtly to get Kane Williams today. He just subtly changed his angle and release point just went a bit wider. It's early days, but you can see that there's something there that will stand the test of time going forward. And I'm watching his fingers. He just subtly does a little bit of difference, a little bit of rolling his fingers down the ball to get a cutter or two. Having Jimmy Anderson and Stuart Broad in the dressing room, I would guess and I would be hoping so, that he's sat next to them regular, just picking their brains. He just looks like he's fit. Good character, gets in the batter's space. He's not abusing them, but you can see he's in the contest. So he's been a really good selection by England.
Looks like he just bowl all day too. Ball
fit.
after ball after ball is just in the right place. And you're right, he's got an outswinger, he's got an in-swinger, he's got a wobble seamer. Yeah. And really that's what he does. And
he's an athlete. I'm looking at Jamie Overton as well, and he's an athlete. He's big. He's a different kind of bowler, and he's more of what was Broad called the other year, the enforcer. That was many years ago. I see Jamie Overton in that kind of position at the minute, where he runs in, hustles and bustles and gets them down. But again, athletes, that can run around the field. You can see these guys chasing the ball, diving. They've got powerful throws. This unit, I know they've dropped a few chances, and particularly Joe Root today, he'll be disappointed with dropping one at first hit, but as an operation in the field, they look athletic, and that's always a good sign.
I was looking for Overton to have taken confidence from his innings, actually, and I think definitely so into his bowling, don't you? I mean, he just looks much more home, and you're bound to be nervous.
I like his follow through. And he gets that follow through going down the pitch. He's bound to be, but to score 97, and we were all in the box. The box was pretty much full when he got out, and it just went deathly silent because we were all desperate to see Jamie Overton on debut, batting at number 8, to go to 3 figures. It was coming. You could see this morning when he went out to bat, he was nervous. He had a few swings and misses, and you just felt that he hit at 1-4 through the cover, and you went, he just needs one more of those, and it was there, but he just kind of just swung at one and got the outside edge. It was a decent catch by Daryl Mitchell, but it was one of those moments that you do feel so disappointed for an individual, because you kind of look at him and go, will you get that opportunity again to get a test match century? It's a great start to go out under that amount of pressure with Johnny Bairstow. To produce that partnership was remarkable on debut.
Tricky one for the umpires here. The ground staff are loitering. It's stopped raining. The stewards have taken their umbrellas down. It's not as dark as it was. The floodlights are on, and I can see some blue sky coming, and I reckon, is it 4 minutes we've got until they need to be playing? So
I can't see they're going to get the covers off in 4 minutes, though.
I don't think they can, but they might have started to have done, but I think the decision was made that they wouldn't have had that time to take them off. But they are loitering around there, waiting, got their hands in their pockets, and the stewards are standing there quite happily. They're guarding the pitch, and right, so it has been abandoned for the day. There'll be some boos inevitably because it's actually not bad. It's not impossible to be playing right at this very moment, but those are the rules, unfortunately, and they had to be playing by 19 minutes past 6, which is 3 minutes from now, and they would not have got everything organised for that as things stand at the moment. And in fact, the steward at the far end's got his umbrella up again, so perhaps there is still some light rain that's falling. But over to Dessine. He's a very big lad. Pace-wise, I haven't seen him hit the magic 90 yet up on the. You might have done, but it doesn't show every ball. But he's been around 86.
Yeah, he's
87.
quick enough. He's quick enough. Whether he's quick enough to frighten really good players on good pitches, we'll have to wait and see. I haven't seen many bowlers in Test cricket just bowl short and short only. People that bowl quick generally get most of their wickets when they pitch the ball up. So I think in time, we'll see more, I hope, in terms of the skill and the swing. On this pitch, it's been slow. England have used him as that enforcer, that kind of point of difference bowler. But I've seen him enough for Surrey to know that he can snick batters off and he can get the ball going away from the right-handers. He got laid them out with a good ball today, just on channel.
And he hits people. I mean, he's hit 3 people in the last 10 days or so, including his brother.
Yeah, he likes the bouncer.
He does.
He does, and he bowls, I think you describe as a heavy ball. He just seems to get this just extra bit of pace off the surface. Now and again, he doesn't seem to get his fingers right and his action quite right. And
his release is definitely eccentric. He's got to work on that.
Which is sometimes hard for the batter because, what I want as a player is consistency. Even if it's really quick, if it's consistently really quick, you can cope with that. But it's when a bowler just slightly loses an action and he doesn't know he's doing it, it comes out a few miles an hour quicker or slower. That can be an advantage to someone like Jamie Overton. But England so far this summer have played really good cricket. They found one definitely in Matthew Potts, and they're showing a huge amount of character from all the Test matches that you go back to the one at Lords to Trent Bridge to now here. In every single game they were in positions where they were losing quite comfortably, and now they're in a position here once again, having got those 3 wickets in the last session, of being, I would say, quite clear favourites to win from this position.
Yeah, always watch and enjoy watching Stuart Broad batting. if he guesses right, he's very effective.
Guess.
If he guesses what's coming. If he's short, but he'll whack it, pitched up. Boom! Whack it. It's when he doesn't quite guess it right, and then the stumps get.
So you're
splattered.
trying to say to me, Stuart Broad premeditated? Or we've got a couple of looks like gentlemen who are going to do a few belly slides on the covers.
Yes, we have.
They'll get thrown off. Yeah. So you're saying Stuart Broad, if he premeditates the ball that's coming and he gets it right, he's a good player.
Yeah, I think he gives it a whack.
Yeah,
and he did today.
He's got a great bat swing. He's got. They've got away with it, the 2 guys. I think they're going to eventually, I hope, get caught by the stewards. But he's got one of those bat swings that just looks so natural.
Yes.
Stuart Broad, when he hits
Especially
the ball, through the covers, over extra cover. He's got a good eye. We've seen that over many, many years. And in this England side, under Ben Stokes and Baz McCullum, he's pretty much got a licence. A licence to go out and play strokes. So I think he'll enjoy the fact that he can go out and play a few strokes.
Yeah. And bowling-wise, it's not. I mean, he's bowled well, but it's been one of those you can see he's getting a bit frustrated. Actually, he hasn't got the wickets. He
got a bit grumpy, and understandably, when a catch goes down and a few go past the outside edge. I've been impressed with his bowling throughout the whole series. I just think he's got that energy and that buzz. He loves playing Test match cricket on the back of not going to the Caribbean. I think the environment that Brendan McCullum and Ben Stokes have created is perfect for a senior pro. A senior pro probably going to play another year or 2. Go and enjoy your cricket for a couple of years, playing really positively, and obviously buying into this new tactic of being more aggressive with their field settings. I haven't seen Stuart Broad complain once when Ben Stokes put 5 slips in there.
Yeah.
I don't see him complain. I've seen him in the past where he's looked at the skipper and gone, come on, get a couple more out. I want to protect my runs. I'm not seeing that. I think they all just look like they're enjoying playing.
Yes.
Whatever the situation is, you look at the balcony, and even when England were 55 for 6, they were all still smiling. They were all still having a bit of fun. And that's clearly the message that the new coach has brought, that he wants them to go out and play aggressively and enjoy the cricket.
Yeah. Do you still have that feel lurking at the back of your mind that there are going to be games where it does go wrong and they're going to have to be, why didn't you try and save that game, or why did you play quite so recklessly? I mean, do you think those sort of questions
Maybe.
are around the corner?
I don't think we'll be thinking about this side and talking about them, why didn't you try and save it, because they're going to try and win every game.
Yes.
So we've got to accept that, and that's the style of cricket that they want to play, and I buy into that. I admire them for playing that cricket. The ultimate pressure is always, and whether it's right or wrong, Aggers, it's always the Ashes series. That's what you're judged on, as a captain, as a coach, as a player. And in a year's time, when the Aussies are in town, if it goes wrong in the first time of asking in the first Test match, it's then a test of character and can you stick to what you've been doing for a period of time. But I think playing this style of cricket, I have more confidence now than I did 4 or 5 weeks ago that this England side can really cause a threat next summer against Australia, because I've seen Australia play against India recently, and when India went at them, particularly in the last few games, and when Rishabh Pant started to play a few shots, it was the time that I saw an Australian attack start to lose its rack a little bit. So the way that you can really prod an outstanding bowling attack is by being aggressive against it, and we know that this England side will be very aggressive. It won't be easy to hit the likes of Cummins, Stark, Hazelwood, Nathan Lyon, but I think this way of playing will cause a few headaches for the Australian team.
Sort of assuming that whatever New Zealand set, whether they're bowled out or whether they declare that England is going to knock them off, but I mean that's not necessarily going to be the case. You can't take it for granted, can you?
That's why what they've done over the course of 2.5 games is I have ultimate confidence that they will win the game. If you'd have said to me after the West Indies that I would have had confidence of England winning the first 3 Test matches, I'd have said no chance, it's impossible, they can't, they haven't got the players to do so. But in the side that I've seen in 2 games at Lords, where it was a brilliant innings by Joe Root to then go to Trent Bridge and just a remarkable last day, a last session, to turn in around 55 for 6 to be in this position, and I'm sitting here with 2 days to go. What are they ahead? 137 ahead, New Zealand, 5 wickets down. Again, 5 weeks ago, I'd say it's pretty much game over. England have got no chance. Well, I'm sitting here thinking, well, if they have to chase 250, I think they'll get them. They'll probably get them in 50 overs.
Yeah. Right, Simon Mann has been talking to Matthew Potts. Thank you, Michael.
Enjoying Test cricket?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it at the moment. Obviously, it's hard work, but to have Stuart as an opening partner in this game, it's been great to feed off him, and I think we've put some good spells together and caused a bit of trouble.
You seem to have the sign over Kane Williamson. You've got him out 3 times in 4 attempts now. Is there any particular secret? It's just bowling the channel? What is it?
I don't think there's any particular secret. I'm just running, trying to do a little bit with the ball on a good length. It just so happens that I've got him out 3 times. I wouldn't look too far into it. I think it's just more kind of playing each ball on its merit and just trying to put it in a good area more times than enough, and something will happen.
What did you say as a team at the tea interval? Because things changed, didn't it, in the post-tea session?
Yeah. Well, look, we didn't have the best of sessions in the middle session. I think New Zealand just took that one. And we said we just wanted to come out with the positive kind of vibes that we came out with when Jamie and Bairstow were batting. And we decided to go out with that positive intent and look to try and change the game on its head. And we've managed to get 3 wickets in that short space of time, and hopefully put them under a bit of pressure overnight.
You mentioned the partnership between Bairstow and Overton, and what's it like playing in this side? I mean, it's remarkable to watch it. It's such a transformation. What's it like to be in that dressing room as a new boy?
As a new boy in that dressing room, it's everything you could kind of imagine. Obviously, a boyhood dream to be in an England dressing room and share the dressing room with some greats that I've actually watched as a kid. But yeah, it's a real pleasure, and I'm kind of enjoying every day, enjoying the stiffness of bowling and the soreness. But yeah, it's great fun, and there's some great blokes in there as well.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the hard work, and you've really put in a shift in this series.
Yeah, I mean, in this series, some of the wickets they've had partnerships, but it's just sticking to your guns all the time, and just never letting it slip spell after spell, and just really trying hard. putting that when you're hurting, it's never easy. But you just got to kind of put that out of your mind, and we laugh about it. Try and enjoy the pain. I certainly am. I'm enjoying the pain of Test cricket.
Now you've taken wickets, but there was one wicket that you almost had in the first innings, the Daryl Mitchell one. He was on 8 at the time. He went on to score another 100. I mean, just tell us a bit about that. I mean, as the new boy, I mean, you presumably thought, oh, this is out, this is close, but it wasn't reviewed. What happened on the pitch there?
On the pitch, we were just in two minds as to whether it was going to slide or whether it hit him in line. There was a little bit of doubt. So when there's a little bit of doubt, it's probably best not to take too much of a chance. I think we didn't have that many reviews left as well, so we try to keep them in the tank for later on. And it just so happened that it was that. I don't think it's anything to do with me being the new boy and not reviewing it.
Right, but presumably frustration afterwards.
No, not really. I mean, sometimes these things happen on the field. If you're dwelling on it, you're not going to perform. I mean, you've got to put it out of your mind. I mean, same with the drop catch. If they have a drop catch, I mean, everyone drops catches. You don't mean to do it, and as a bowler, it is frustrating. But if you dwell on it, then you're not going to perform at your best.
What about the state of the game? I mean, you're right back in it. I mean, you've been out of it a couple of times. You know, you're right back in it again now.
Well, this is the type of brand of cricket we're wanting to play. We're wanting to entertain. We're looking to be positive, and sometimes there's going to be ebbs and flows in that. And tonight we've managed to swing it our way going into tomorrow and set it up for a good day 4.
Great, thanks very much for your time.
No problem, thank you.
All the best, bye-bye.
That's a confident young man playing his third test, 23 years of age, Jeremy Coney. He sounds like he's been playing forever.
Yeah, excellent, isn't it? I mean, I've enjoyed watching him play. He's been one of the features for me that I've enjoyed, really. He bowls in a simple kind of way. He runs in hard. But he uses to me it's the crease, the way he uses the crease, and you always have to relocate your off stump. You're never quite sure. You're the angle that it's coming in, and you find yourself being drawn across laterally the crease, and you're playing at deliveries you don't really want to play at. So, and his length is pretty good too, isn't it? He's
pretty relentless, really.
Yeah, he is. That normal, just short of a drivable length where he works, and he's got that wobble ball that he uses well, and a little bit of in swing as well. So it's a kind of a nice package, I think, he uses, and it's not as if you can really charge at him in any way. He's quick enough to stop that, and he looks very fit.
Yes.
You know, it's not a Robinson who struggles sometimes with fitness, to be honest, watching him. I think he has at the moment.
Yeah. Now, how do you see this then? 137 ahead, 5 wickets left. Your old friends Mitchell and Blundell at the crease again. I mean, they're going to do it again, aren't they?
Well, they have to. There's no one else, I'm afraid. As you know, I think that New Zealand, the way that England are approaching things, New Zealand, because they know that England are going to go for this, but in 3 sessions, what can England get? What would you say? 110 a session wouldn't be too difficult, would it?
Probably looks
so that's 330. I think they need sort of 360. Now, to do that, of course, and the deficit's 390. Now, do you think New Zealand are going to get there? You'd have to, from what we've seen, the answer to that is no.
Yes.
I don't like to be depressed like this, but I mean, that's really what we've seen so far. Although we've seen Mitchell, and we've seen, and it depends on the weather a bit tomorrow as well.
I think it's fine tomorrow. It's going to be a strong wind tomorrow, straight up down the ground, much make bowling a bit tricky.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could, if England do get that shade of attacking wrong, and it becomes that reckless approach again.
Yes, it can do.
Then that could be a really interesting setup.
But it would be nice for the New Zealand bowlers too to have an extra bit of time off, because when you look at that attack, I'm afraid once the shine goes from the ball, there aren't a lot of options for them at the moment. It's a tiring, kind of ageing attack.
Coming at the end of it.
I think it is. Is that your assessment?
Yeah.
You see lots of sides as well.
And they're coming, I mean, they've all been attacked and they've all taken a bit of punishment.